สวัสดีครับท่านอาจารย์ทุกท่านครับผมกิติพงษ์ทรัพย์คงดีเป็นผู้จัดการทั่วไปของบริษัท Book Promotion and Service นะครับเราเป็นผู้แทนและเป็นพาร์ทเนอร์ร่วมกับทางเสกซึ่งวันนี้เราจัดหัวข้อสัมมนาผ่านเว็บครับเป็นเสก Research Method and เสก Campus โดยมีคุณโรสเลียดากาเซียและคุณคีเฮียนเป็นสปีกเกอร์และแชร์ความรู้ให้กับทุกท่านนะครับก็ขอให้ทุกท่านได้ประสบความสำเร็จและมีประโยชน์ในการรับฟังครั้งนี้ขอให้เป็นประโยชน์และก็ขอขอบคุณมากนะครับ Please welcome คุณโรสเลียดากาเซียและคุณคีเฮียนครับผมขอบคุณครับ
Okay, thank you, Kun Kitipong. So once again, Sawadika. My name is Rosalia de Garcia. I'm sure many of you know. So what I'm going to do is give you a very brief product update on methods. So Sage research methods, we call them methods because there are a lot of components attached to it. And then we will take a short break and then we'll continue with campus. And then if you need a demo, Ki Hyang will give you a demo. Ask us any questions in the Q&A, and then Ek Kai will monitor the Q&A forum. Yeah. So without further ado, welcome once again, and thank you for taking the time to actually attend this session. We are very excited to conduct this session, although we would have preferred to conduct it in person. But never mind, soon Thailand is opening up, and maybe Singapore and Thailand may have a travel arrangements very soon, I'm sure in 2022. Yeah. So let me just start by talking about how we started developing methods, right? So the first thing you will hear is the history of methods. What prompted Sage to look at this particular product? Then we'll give you the product overview. So there will be several product overviews. And then we'll tell you who are the audiences and the discoverability, and then business models, and then the value add in terms of what we offer and how useful librarians and faculty have said. And the last part will be collaboration, is working with our partner success team to see what kind of other training you may require. So this is where Sage research method started in 2011. So previously there were a lot of methods around the STM area, primarily by Elsevier. And a lot of researchers came to us and say, Sage, you are very good in research methods books, from the little green books, the little blue books, and just hold on. Yeah, little green books and the little blue books. And we really need an automated process of undertaking research, because at that time, prior to 2011, actually Q4 2011, there was no effective guidance and support for any faculty or researchers or even students that are doing their research, because they have to do it very manually and it's time consuming, and often than not, sometimes they miss some of the steps or the methods that is involved. And what they needed was something that was easy to use. As easy as we could, we have to develop a platform that sort of give the researcher a full picture of all the contents that are related to a particular methods that he or she is looking, and also share with them what are the methods that are similar, corresponding, that they should be looking at, or methods that are in direct contrast. Yeah. And then obviously you have things like definition given, because we have some reference titles in there. You have project planner, you have, statistical tools, which we will talk a little bit. But what happened again, at that time, artificial intelligence wasn't in place. So Sage research methods is built on the premise of an AI in the background. So for example, if you have a faculty who says, I want to start a focus group to explore say women between 20 and 35 in the main metropolitan Bangkok area to see how many of them are working versus how many of them are stay-at-home moms. And then, so focus group is the first method. But what Sage Research Methods they want is to say, to pick up that and say quickly, yeah, you might want to learn how to set up a focus group. You may want to know that you can also do surveys, questionnaires. You may want to also have a group discussion, whichever the case is, because there is over a few billion data sets that is out there. So there's a huge amount of research information that is out there, and we need this AI to basically synthesize the content. By that I mean make sure that it is much more customized, is reduced as you do your search. They also, for the first time, they want all the journals, which is on research methods, to be tagged. So to be able to look at a Sage journal that is on research methods and allow the ability of the research to facilitate any form of machine learning, right? So we have AI, we have machine learning that is part of the AI tools. And this was way back in 2011. And this is what the feedback. So we sent out a survey. At that time, we included the Australians, some Singaporeans, and some Hong Kong universities. And this is generally what they said they wanted in Sage Research Methods. They wanted almost a one-stop shop for behavioral and social science research at all levels, from undergraduate, postgraduate, to researchers to be able to use. So each of these users use Sage Research Methods for different purposes. And again, when we started, we assumed undergraduates will only be looking for definition. But now we are seeing undergraduates using Sage Research Methods to do their thesis. So again, and this leads me very nicely to my next point. They want it to guide students. So almost the same case with the AI and machine learning. You do one thing and then it will prompt you the other things to do. It's a very guided step in so that the students do not get out of the parameters of doing the research. They are very focused because there's almost like a teacher or someone who is actually guiding the hands how to do it. So, and again, provide answers to any faculty who is undertaking any form of research. So if you want to publish in a journal article, you can obviously do that, and it provides you the answers that you need. For librarians, it is actually a value add because some librarians go for training as well, but also the subject liaison librarian find it really useful when they undertake research skills training. So later on, you will learn in Sage Campus that it's almost a complementary product to Sage Research Methods, where we also again teach people how to look at the data, how to analyze the data at a very, very granular level. So again, I talk about it, one-stop shop definition. People also want case studies. So Sage Research Methods core just have the tool, but Sage Research Methods suite has case studies, have teaching data sets, which we have taken across from the globe and curated them and make sense so that you can understand, practice, and teach using the data sets that is there. And obviously, with everything else, and with students now, they're doing more visual, video tutorials are available. And in fact, some of the research methods tools are available in video form, right? So the case studies, in a nutshell, allows you to look at how people with a similar problem tackle them using some of the methods that is available on this tool. So we will start with the suite, which is a combination of the Sage Research Methods core, Sage Research Methods case studies, and the data sets. Yeah, and then we have the videos that is there, and then the Research Methods Foundation is very much at undergraduate level. So here is what we have. So Sage Research Methods data sets, as I talked about, is for practicing analytical methods, right? So currently we have about 500 teaching data sets that allows people to practice, and it's a very wide spectrum, again, from many of the methods, from actual research to focus groups, from any form that is available that helps the people to practice it. And then on an annual basis, we add 10 new data sets to it so that we update it every time. So you have the data sets 1, 2, and 3. So SAGE research method cases, as I talked about it already, it is to see how others do. And you have almost 2,100 multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary cases on research design. And every year we like to add plus minus 30 new cases to this package. The core that I talked about, it is 1,200 of SAGE books and reference, excluding textbooks. And there are about 50 short videos. And the beauty of this, apart from the statistical tools that you can use and how to practice statistics, you have project planner. How do you do your research? So there is all of this given to you, and 50 new content added annually. So on the video side, it is so that product has been around for some time. And then we start seeing that students that are entering the universities learn much better visually. They become something that is visual, captures their mind much more easier than something that is written. So we launched in about 2017 videos. And the idea is to make research methods as exciting as live, to meet the new demands of both the students and the faculty. So again, we have the SAGE research methods video, the core, which has 484 videos on every aspect of the method. So these complements and supplements the other SAGE research methods. And then subsequently, we introduce practical research and academic skills, which is very popular among a lot of our current Australia, New Zealand customers. And this is about 60 hours. It focuses on research design, general and computer skills and study skill sets. So these are, as the name suggests, very practical. It is given, it is taught and is spoken by experts on that topic, telling you what to do. So they're all SAGE authors, right? They're all SAGE authors who have taught extensively on the topic and are actually talking in there. Now, the beauty of our video is the fact that we understand that not everyone speaks English in the first language. So what happened is there is always a transcript at the side. The transcripts highlight. So for example, now I'm talking, and if there's a transcript, it will highlight whatever I'm saying. So for students who are, or anyone who is finding difficulty in understanding the speaker, there's always something in written which you can download. But at the same time, a video may be, say, 2 hours long. But if the faculty for a classroom session wants to use only at the 11 mark, and the video, the component of that video, there's from minutes to say 20 minutes, he can, what we call clip, he can cut it out, put the link onto his PowerPoint and then show it to his students itself. Yeah. And obviously when you see the videos itself, you can actually see the description. What is it for? No, intermediate, practical, what exactly is going to do before you even switch on. So, and then the most popular that is coming out, a new one, is data science, big data analytics, and digital methods, right? So this is another popular one that is there, 120 hours. So again, data science methods around behavioral and social science data, right? So it is all about big data research. How do you do it computational? How do you compute the data that you have and make it into a practical? So it's teaching you verbally. Market research, how to conduct that, and that is 60 hours of it. So these will appeal to anybody that is doing, including the business and management students that are focusing on doing a market research, for example. What is becoming very popular these days is ethics in research, be it publishing and making sure that we are very mindful about the kinds of things that we are doing and sharing about how, when we are doing a research, how do we incorporate ethics. So here is just one bit. So there's 60 hours. It talks a little bit more about for example, plagiarism, duplication, and stuff like that. So that is ethics in research. But it also extends, which is very rare, that you can find on human beings, trafficking of human beings and trafficking of children. So just this morning, I read the news on CNN that a 5-year-old girl in Afghanistan was sold to a 50-year-old man for marriage. So that is around this area because the parents needed money to survive. So these are the things. So there are many thoughts in our mind. We do a research. Obviously, we have to be objective. And in response to requests, we have launched SAGE Research Methods video focusing on medicine and health. So this is totally separate again. 60 hours clinical, primarily a clinical and epidemiology research. And it also helps you to be able to have systematic review and meta-analysis around interventional and observation studies. Now, each of these videos are sold separately. Yeah, if you want to buy all of them, then obviously there is a special discount that will be given, yeah? But each of these, and there are many more that are sold separately. So the other one that is very popular, which we like to highlight, is called SAGE Research Methods Video Data Visualization. So it is visualization again, looking at data across a dashboard that shows the different kinds of charts on 5 types of visualization. So the 5 types are given here: categorically, hierarchical, temporal, spatial, and network. But what is beautiful about this is that you see visually in what I will call, here they call it gallery, but what I call like a dashboard. And then it will tell you how do you use these data to basically present them so that you make sense. And it gives you guidance of what to do so that you sound very intelligent and you know your work, but at the same time, making sure you understand as well. And also, it annotates with examples of how people have used data and make blunders out of it. Where so that's it. So what I put it here is best practice. Yeah. So there are a lot of data sets available out there, right? You go to any government institution research they have. But what, as I mentioned in our data sets, we have curated, clean the data sets and make it easily be searchable for the users itself, which is not available freely, right? Unless you have a lot of time to be able to spend doing that, then that will be fine. So here, these data sets, which have been cleaned and curated, provide a step-by-step, again, very purposefully done to ensure that the user understand. You do this step 1, then after you finish this, you have to do step 2. So it actually tells you very clearly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. How do you create a visualization of the data that you need to present? So this is a very powerful video that also are seeing a lot of people getting interest in. So SAGE Research Methods Foundation. So as I talked about is, so previously when the core tools and the case studies and the data sets was launched, we found that some universities do not teach research methods at the undergraduate or even very little. And then when they come to the postgraduates, they all struggle. They all struggle understanding it. So the concept is to ensure, and in response to the market, that the moment a student enters a university, from day one, he or she understands SAGE research methods as a progression. So that's why SAGE Research Methods Foundation has been formed. So this is very much in the olden days, prior to digitalization appearing, these were what we call a major works, right? A major works, a 16-volume SAGE Research Methods encyclopedia, so which is huge. But what we have done here is digitize it because this is response to the market itself, right? So it is a very dynamic site, very easy to navigate, easy to use. And again, because we are targeting undergraduates or people who have never done done methods at all in behavioral and social sciences, guide them. So again, it's almost a holding by hand, just like a mother or a parent holding the hand of a child to ensure that he or she can walk. So there are about 3 to 4 million words covering the full spectrum of any and all forms of methodology or methods and telling you what they mean and how to use them when you are doing your research. So this is the first thing. This was again in response. What methods do I use? This is what happens here. Then you give it. And they also, the entries are telling you around a theme. So with a theme, you will know, okay, if I'm doing around this theme, what are the methods I should be looking at? And then again, guiding users, it's just like the SAGE research methods, data visualization. What next tool, right? After you have finished this, what next you need to do? And this helps the student to go through a process, and it cuts the time you have to do something manually to by almost 60 to 75%, and that's powerful. That is really powerful, yeah. So who are the audience? Yeah, who will be interested in learning about SAGE research methods? So these are the ones, yeah. So these are current users especially. So project work for graduate students, and then for faculty seeking content to teach methods, right? I told you about the video you can click, then the other cases that you can use, and within the cases there's an objective, and within the objective there are questions that you can ask your students, and then recommending content, be it in print form or whether in video form to the students to actually read up. But most important, I talk extensively about this, and AI, artificial intelligence algorithms to guide the researchers to the different type of methodology. And here, again, SAGE Research Methods Foundation, an undergraduate student who needs a foundational understanding of the different types of methods and how to use them at a very, very early stage. And then for librarians as well, because librarians are constantly upgrading themselves. They are taking, information science, postgraduate studies itself. They too can help. And they will also be good for the liaison librarian to be able to assist the undergraduates, the postgraduates, the faculty, how to use it in the universities that they represent. So the discoverability here, you have MARC records. It's downloadable, and all of our methods product allows your alumni to access. So it is not only your current student cohort, whether they're on campus or they're outside of campus, they are able to get access, including alumni members. Yeah, it's fully indexed by most, in fact, all of the open source search engines, so Google, Bing, Yahoo. So those are the ones that is helpful, so you can find it. So you don't have to go literally to say SAGE research methods. If, say, your university subscribes to this product, when they do either a Google search or Yahoo search or Bing search or whichever, they will be guided into the library portal, and then they will be able to see their specific content that they're looking for. So the indexation is done by ProQuest, Summons, and EBSCO Discovery Services, which all of you are familiar with. So what are the options that we have to suit your budget needs? So there are several. So as we are looking into the model, we look at where is your budget sitting, right? If your budget, you have money in your OPEX budget, your operational budget, then you can go for the leasing option, right? So if you buy 2 or more of the modules, you get a discount. And this is a subscription model. You only lease it. You do not own it, you lease it. And you use, obviously, if you sign for 3 years, you get better pricing. You buy more modules within the methods, you get more discount. But if you have a capital expense that you need to purchase something and buy it once and for all, there is a 6-year pricing option available for the Sage Research Methods core. For the Sage Research Methods videos, there is a pricing already available. It's the core that I'm talking about, the 6-year pricing. Yeah. So the videos are available either in a leasing option or you can buy them as well, and there are different pricing attached to it. And then obviously you will have access to all of the Sage Research Methods. And again, if you buy the B&M, the Business and Management case studies, or Sage Campus, which we'll be talking later, there's a huge discount. And that product that we are talking about, that includes all of the Sage Research Methods, Business and Management, that is Data Planet, which is a data source that we have again curated on every aspect of doing research. Campus, your online course, the whole product is called Sage Explorer. And so Sage Explorer aims to build bridges to knowledge. So it brings everything together, whether you are in the science students or whether you are in the humanities or the business or education or urban studies. It brings all of these people to build knowledge itself. So while this is very primarily a behavioral and social science, students in the areas of the STM, because we have a lot of interdisciplinary, right? So we have public health, we have even a science student need to understand about research, and they can use this, right? While it's targeted towards social science students, we find that the STM students also use it to get understanding of the methods involved, yeah? So here are examples of how the Sage Research Methods have empowered the universities in improving the ranking in the Times Higher Education. So this is not me saying it, this is how they have positioned Sage Research Methods, and how, because every university wants to improve its ranking to attract students and attract funding, right? So here is what you will see. So 90% of the students, researchers, and professors say that the Sage Research Methods and the Sage Research Methods Foundation and the videos save time, give them the confidence that they are doing the right thing because it is almost a step-by-step guide, and reduce the frustration when they do not understand the concepts, they do not understand the methods and how they go about, because there are case studies that help them, and very easily they can download and practice any of the data sets itself. Yeah, so this is fantastic. So in the satisfaction level for professors and everybody else, which we research, yeah, 150 to 300 librarians and professors and students, 73% rated as satisfaction level. Now, this is considered very, very high, because what they realize is that using the tools that we have developed, they find that the students are passing the exams at a much higher grade. So perhaps last time they just passed at 55, now they're going at 70, 75, because they fully understand the concept. They also improve and diversify their skill sets. So they become much more broader. They know a lot more information because this is what these tools provide. And then the quality of the research has become much better, right? And with all the learning outcomes that is available in all of our products, including the videos that we have, it is a very defined set that helps the student and the professor or whoever to learn all of these, master all the skill sets in the shortest possible time, unlike in the olden days or current status in some universities where it's very manual. So where does librarians rate us, right? So 98% of librarians say the SAGE research methods suite is a must-have, and all of their patrons, that is the people that they serve, use it very well and say it is one of the best investment they ever had. So again, they find an increased engagement with research methods curriculum, and also allow this to link to other SAGE resources that you have, be it SAGE journals, SAGE knowledge, or SAGE campus, or any of the other products that we have currently on sale to all of our university customers. Yeah. So in terms of collaboration, here is what the partner success will do, right? Once you become, say, for example, at this moment, we've done the product presentation already. And if you are interested in a trial, then you go to iGroup and ask them, can I have a trial for 3 months? We'll offer that to you. And then we have a dedicated partner success manager, which will work with each university to see whether we need to conduct training or quiz during the trial period, and then with some small gifts given. And then also, if you need, the salesperson will provide supporting documents and give you, for example, testimony from other universities or professors, or even influencers within your universities on justifying why you need to subscribe to this or even purchase. In line with our SAGE goal of becoming sustainable and green and environmentally friendly, we will prefer to have an e-agreement rather than a print agreement with digital signatures. And then your partner success and you should discuss what are the post-sales activities and training that you will need and how often you might need them, right? So in this academic ecosystem, this is again a quick reminder of what each of the users are saying. So faculty says, it equips me with the skills. I can work independently. I can work with confidence, and I'm very sure I'm doing the right thing because my competency level is high, and allows them to be able to do their research at any time. Because can you imagine if you are doing a research at 12 midnight after a busy day, or 1 a.m. and you get stuck, the frustration is bad. And that's why SAGE research methods is the answer, right? It removes frustration. So again, it helps faculty enhance their teaching skills. They have more understanding of the methods, the different kind of methods it is used. And also with the videos, make it as engaging as effective. And the term that we commonly hear is blended classroom, right? So you can assign the students to learn certain things and bring it back in for discussion in the classroom setting. And then for the library or the university is basically, again, how as a librarian, I need to empower the researchers development activity. How do I make sure that they can publish as many papers as they need? What kind of support I can provide? How do I make sure I attract international students and top students to come into my university? That's what is in their mind, right? And then how do I raise the quality and quantity of research output? Producing mass amount of research is fantastic, but quality is of important. How do I start to look at my competitor across the street and say, I need to be better at that university? Should I become #1 in my province, right? So now you have Prince of Songkla in Khon Kaen, Prince of Songkla in Hat Yai, and then you have Khon Kaen, then you have Chulalongkorn, you have Thammasat, you have Mahidol, you have many, even universities in Udon Thani and Chiang Mai. All of these are what we should aspire with one goal: to improve our ranking on the Times Higher Education or QS ranking. And that's where you get funding, you get people coming in and you get professors that are top notch coming to join you. Yeah. So this is the end of my presentation on SAGE research methods. Any questions, or do you also want a video presentation or a demo by Kihyang?
This demo, okay, Sawadika, a very good morning to everyone. The coming up demo will be not be extremely long, okay, but yeah, I will try to highlight some of the important aspect of what SAGE research methods can offer you after, okay, Rosalia, I've explained to all of you regarding, okay, what you will be able to see, yeah? Okay, so let me share my screen now. Okay, let me highlight. Okay, so this is the login page for SAGE research methods. So as all of you will be able to see it here, right? The page itself, right, is actually, okay, very simple to use, just like what you all have been very familiar, like a Google search. So what we can do usually is that we can just enter our keyword search here at the very beginning, right? But for example, you will be able to type in a certain keywords that of your choice. Some of us would like to know about, okay, the linear analysis, such as the analysis of variance. Okay, ANOVA, you can just type it here. Okay, so if today you just type it ANOVA here, so straight away you'll be able to just enter, okay, the keyword, and you'll be able to find a lot. Okay, so this is what we so-called, okay, analysis of variance. So straight away, once we enter into this analysis of variance, you will be able to find, okay, so you can see that, okay, this is the analysis of variance. As what we have just mentioned to you earlier, we do provide various types of materials for you, okay, when it comes to the analysis of variance, be it in the books series, okay, be it in the data sets, or maybe, okay, we are talking into the cases or even videos. So it really depends on the needs for our, let's say, the user. So for example, most of the time, okay, but if today you are a professor, or maybe you would like to do some teaching, okay, on the methods course that is related to ANOVA, what you will do usually is that you would like to pick up some kind of like, you know, the books that is related to analysis of variance as your teaching materials. And at the same time, you would like to give your students, right, maybe like a flipped classroom, the hybrid learning style, whereby you will be able to enter some of the definitions video, okay, where if I just, you know, and select all of them and only focus on the video, then this is the place where you will be able to see all the video that is related to ANOVA. All right, and we can actually, okay, insert these, I would say, video easily, all right, into our, for example, okay, easily into our learning management system, or maybe play the video, okay, partially during the class to help your users to understand. Recall that earlier, remember, okay, Rosalia did mention the fact that, okay, we will have actually all the so-called transcript to be included, okay, into the video, so that it helps, okay, our user, okay, who are less proficient in English. For example, I just drag it forward now. Okay, so you can see that. Okay, so what important here is this: you will be able to see the closed captions that's inserted in the video, but at the same time, you have all the transcript being listed it down, helping our students to understand further. Now, this is a video that's of 27 minutes long. And a lot of times, you know, a professor during the class may just want to, let's say, insert, okay, maybe a sections of the video, or maybe create a sections of their choice. Now, what you'll be able to see here is this. The video itself is called an Introduction to Experimental Design #2, but the video itself has been divided into various parts of ANOVA. So you can see that, okay, one way ANOVA with fixed effect, or maybe some people is already interested in the F test of ANOVA or two-way ANOVA. So if today we proceed our class up to a level whereby we only would like to just cover, okay, the, let's say the, okay, the overall F test about ANOVA, you can see very clearly that they will immediately jump over to a sections that is only about the F test of ANOVA. I understand the fact that even this particular sections still take about 16 minutes long. So if, let's say, if today I would like to just create a short video clip, and I'm able to do so. So in order for our user to create a short video clips, you just have to log. So when we go into this particular video, so you will be able to see that I will be able to create a video clips of my choice. So for example, okay, I would like to create a video clips from 10 minutes. Okay, no, sorry, 10 minutes. Okay, from 1 minute, okay, let's say 20 seconds, all the way to, let's say, 5 minutes, okay, and let's say, okay, 30 seconds. I can do that. And this thing can be easily created and save it into one of my video clips, all right? And then to be like one of the video clips that shorter, that's of your choice, then you can insert them into your classroom for teaching purposes. All right, so this is what we have been mentioned about just now, that not only will provide you the transcript, but at the same time, you'll be able to see the we call it the closed caption that is available inside the video. They'll be able to allow you to do the sharing. Make sense? Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm going to stop here, and then we are going to go back to the research methods now. Now, not only that, a lot of times our user would like to just focusing on, for example, all right, you want to actually just focusing on, let's say, helping your users to go onto the practical research and academic skill set, for example. Now, we all understand that, in order to conduct a successful research, there are some practical research skill sets whereby it is very relevant and helpful for our users to learn, all right, during their, I would say, studies in the university, and after the studies, whereby they will bring some practical skill sets, they can bring it over to their employment in the future. So in this situation, what they will do is they can go to the view this particular collections. Then you can able to see that this is actually a video collections earlier that we have introduced to you, and you can see that these are all the various types of, I would say, practical skill set on actually helping our user on how to do it properly. Okay, on all the how can I still go back to this? Sorry, something wrong with my. Okay, so we go back to the video. Yep. Okay, this is what I'm going to show you. Okay, view the collections. Yeah, this is the practical research and academic skill set. You see, all right, it really supports, or we say, the practical skill set that we need to successfully complete our research. So now it will actually kind of like even talking about how do our user handling stress, okay, on how to question that will, based on title, yield more citations. What are some of the tips? How are the proposal to persuasive documents? Avoid summarizing, right? Keep the research diary, so on and so forth. So you can see that these are all the relevant, I would say, skill set as a researchers that we need. That's practically helping us to be more successful when it comes to dealing with research. Not every research, every researchers, they are, I would say, experienced enough, okay, in actually handling a lot of situation when it comes to, research, I would say, challenges. And we would like to ensure that, okay, our user have this kind of like practical skill sets in handling all these important, I would say, soft skill, okay, that they will be able to, do, okay, and handle during their research process. So you can see that this is all the various types of, I would say, videos, and most of them, okay, they are actually quite straightforward. Okay, some of them is only like, okay, like a few like say less than a minute, okay, like 26 seconds, so and so forth, because these are very targeted, okay, I would say, short videos helping our users. And a lot of times, okay, the look into the keywords. Look into the keywords. You will notice that even if today, let's say, after I've already done my research, and I'm supposed to present my research during a conference, or maybe during my oral defense, what I'm going to do is that maybe I'll be happy. Okay, I'd like to learn more about the speaking skills, or maybe talk about the presentation skill, and even to talk about the public speaking skill set. So for example, okay, today you would like to talk about, okay, the presentation skill set, then you just click on presentation skill set. What SRM will do is that they will go back into the entire database and look for all the relevance, okay, I would say, information that is about the presentation skill set. Now, they will expand, okay, out of the video, and then together with all the relevant books, okay, they will actually start looking into all the materials, okay, be it the books, okay, be it a video, or maybe be it some of the cases, to actually help our users, okay, in how they handling, right, okay, all these skill sets that's necessary and required. Now, earlier, okay, Rosalia did mention the fact that it is very important for our users, okay, to start to do a very good research. But a good research all begins with, I would say, a good research planning. And we need to give, okay, our user a very strong and a solid foundations when it comes to how to do research. Now, one of the very amazing research tools that we actually have in research methods, okay, is called the project planner. Now, you will be able to see that, okay, on your left-hand side, okay, these are the various research stages of our user, all right? From the very beginning of how do they define a topic, how do we properly review a literature, how do we develop a researchable questions? Now, this thing, it sounds, okay, very direct, but in fact, to a lot of people, okay, when they are not clear about, okay, what they plan to do, they may end up their research are not being focused, wasting a lot of research funding and time, okay, just to realize that, okay, the research questions that they are trying to resolve maybe is not practical enough or not focused enough, that they may not necessarily get what they want, okay, within the stipulated time frame. We all understand the fact that, okay, we only have 2 years, for example, for master, or maybe 3 to 5 years for a PhD project. And if the research questions, okay, boundaries is not properly set up, then it is very easy, okay, or very often, right, okay, the research, right, cannot reach to a conclusive result, and therefore wasted a lot of time and effort, not to mention the research fundings that we get it, okay. So this is the reason why even develop a very researchable question is one of the key starting point, okay, for a lot of researchers. How do we design a research? For example, do we need to have a lot of research ethical considerations? Now, you see that if today we are very focusing on science and technology using certain lab tests, maybe the research ethics, because it's just an experimental, is less of a relevant. But if today we start talking about social science, and a lot of times we have to involve human, and then research ethics, okay, is actually one of the very important and critical criteria, because all the privacy will fall into this, yeah. Then data collections are the very important criteria. We all understand that a good research, okay, will need to have a good methodology, okay, and the right methodology to do the collections. And that's the reason why, okay, data collection is one of the very important part. Finally, we have the data, we need to analyze them, we need to interpret them before we write it up. Yeah, so you can see that the whole process, right, is a very important, I would say, step-by-step process, helping our researchers have a solid foundation of flow, okay, especially the fact that if today we have research students coming in who are not, okay, experienced enough yet to understand this entire, I would say, research workflow, this will be amazingly help them. So for example, we squeeze into research design, okay, and when we go into the research design and we look into all the important criteria, you can see that these are the commonly questions. May sound, okay, very obvious to a lot of our seasoned researchers, but a lot of times it may not be so obvious to our research students, right? For example, they are, be it their master or be it their PhD. So they may be actually kind of like, yes.
Ki-Hyang, sorry. So there is a question to demo the data sets part which I talk about. Remember, say research method data sets.
So you want me to skip this part? Okay.
No, after this, at one point you need to demo it. Okay.
I will.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so this is the part that you can see that these are the important criteria that how step by step we'll be able to see it. Okay, who will benefit from my research, because we do research for a certain purpose, right? So for example, sometimes, and most of the time, actually our researchers are happy to go into what we so called the how do I write a research, okay, be it your thesis, and very often, okay, Sage as a publishers, we do receive a lot of requests on how to, what are the tips of writing up my research, be it in my proposal, be it writing up my thesis, okay, how do I effectively write an abstract, or even, okay, write my literature review. There are many, I would say, tips, okay, that will be able to help our user. So this is actually a very, I would say, a brief summary of what a user should do, okay, in a general form. But if you want to know more, that's always easy for you to, okay, deep dive, okay, into and find more information that's related to how do we write a research article. All right. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you, okay, what is very important is about, okay, important tools that later just now we mentioned that is, remember, we mentioned about, okay, we do provide cases, okay, data sets and video, right? I already highlight to you what is a video. And then now maybe we can just look into the data sets now. Now, for data sets, okay, you can see here, basically it is a data set that's being cleaned and suitably designed, okay, for our researchers, okay, to use it to learn a certain methods, okay, a certain methods of your choice. So for example, okay, today, okay, they would like to use a thematic analysis, okay, a thematic analysis. But for a professor, maybe for a student, before he or she would like to conduct a thematic analysis, he or she would like to learn how proper, okay, I will be able to conduct this particular types of research. So in order for that person to learn that, usually, okay, if you are a lecturer conducting a course, you would like to use an actual sample data and use it during your class to teach your student on how to do it. But there is a challenge here. That is, if you use an actual data, that comes with a lot of noise. And it is not easy, okay, for entry-level students to fully appreciate or understand the fact that, okay, how a thematic analysis is properly done. So at the very beginning stage of, in the teaching process, usually we give them the ideal situation. In this case, we have cleaned the data so that it is a data that is clean, that is suitable for the researchers to use it for their practice in terms of thematic analysis. Yeah. So when we go into this data set, okay, you'll be able to see that, okay, we will be actually give you, okay, what are the interview data. Okay, so this is actually, because it's talking about a thematic, right? So this thematic is actually like a text, okay, given, and then they are supposed to analyze what are the theme within this particular text. So as a student or maybe as a lecturer who conduct a method course on thematic analysis, you'll be able to give this particular short paragraph to the students, and the students will analyze it based on the thematic. And of course, we do provide the teaching materials, okay? So the teaching material for the teacher, okay, is here. And we also provide the student guide here, okay, that will help our user to be able to understand what exactly is a thematic analysis. Okay, for example, okay, a focus group in an individual interviews. Okay, what is a data exemplar? How you interviews with a non-violent Islamic extremist, so and so forth. All right, and that's where they started to actually introduce the concept of thematic analysis. Yeah, I do appreciate the fact that, thematic analysis, there are a lot of, I would say, books that's also available in FRM, okay, covered by our reference textbook or whatsoever. But for the convenience of our user, we also have a highlight of here, okay, about what is thematic analysis, so that as a lecturer or maybe the student who learn about this, they just go to this particular data set and learn everything at one point. Easier for them rather than, you have to keep jumping in and out, refer to different, I would say, area or criteria. Now, this is actually one of the important criteria that you can see here. We do have reflective questions, meaning to say all these data sets or even the cases, they are designed like a lesson plan, meaning to say the students, right, at the end of the study, what exactly do they expect to learn? So they themselves can actually go through some of the questions, or these questions can be assigned by the professor to the students and let the student understand the fact that at the end, how do you, for example, how do you identify a team? Now, if a student after have going through this exercise and realize that they still cannot identify a team as effectively, then probably know that, okay, after going through this exercise, they actually did not capture the important, okay, concept for this particular, I would say, methodologies. Then probably they can go back to refer to some of the videos. If not, they will be able to, let's say, zoom down and then pick up another data sets that's relevant to this, and then have another round of practice, okay? Or maybe just go into the classroom and have a discussion with the professor. Yeah, of course, we do provide a lot of relevant readings, and then some readings, they are from the, let's say, the FRM cases. Then this is where you'll be able to see that, okay, we actually help you to link them up. Yeah, and I would like to take this opportunity to highlight to you one of the important, we call the methods map. Now, methods map is for, okay, I would say, more seasoned researchers, because it really help our researchers to understand what we so-called the concept terrain, right? The relationships between the methodologies, okay, and how do they actually do the classifications. Now, for example, Okay, this is again, you can see that this is actually the entire research workflow that you'll be able to see through. Okay, so for example, today I'm interested in data science. Okay, so one of the things that I will click through is the data science. After I go into the data science, right, you'll be okay, surprised to see that under the data science, right, actually we have so many subtopics all fall under the category of data science. Okay, the common one, of course, we all understand is artificial intelligence, the big data, right? Then we talk about the data mining, right? Visualization, correct? And then we say the Internet of Things, okay, IoT. And a lot of times we also talk about programming, and then the common one are text analysis. But in fact, there are also digital humanities. There are also what we so call the data ethics. Okay, there's also data curation. And then there's also, like, for example, inference. So these are the less common, okay, I would say understanding, okay, even if somebody who is actually working in the field of data science, it not only gives, okay, our user the complete, okay, understanding about what data science, okay, concept actually encompass, but at the same time, right, it allows our user to very quickly to zoom down. So for example, today, okay, I'd like to go into the network analysis stuff. Yeah, I can click into the network analysis. Then under the network analysis, I will be able to appreciate the fact that there is also another level down called the social network research. Okay, so for example, today I'm saying, okay, I want to find out more about the social network research. Then, to my surprise, because I'm not from data science, I will be so happy to actually find out under the social network research, that's subdivided into what is so-called the sociometry, the nodes, and the graph theory. So this actually gives, okay, even a seasoned researchers, okay, a full and complete understanding about all the concepts and the methodology relationship and their classification. So once I already, let's say I already, okay, I narrow it down to a particular level that I would like to analyze, then I can actually stop here. For example, I would like to just to focus on social network research. That's enough for me. I can just click on it, and what the SRM search engine will do is that they will go into our entire database and actually retrieve out all the relevant informations. Now, this kind of actually search, right, is actually very powerful, and it is only available in SRM due to the fact that it is even more powerful than the normal keyword search. We all understand, sometimes the keyword is being mentioned, but it's not necessarily being relevant, right? But this one is really, we classify them according to the concept terrain, and the concept, right, okay, cannot be run away by this, okay, which is also what we mentioned about the social network research. Now you can see it here, okay, there are many, so if I just browse it through, you'll be see a lot. So I will just have to highlight, we have books, okay, we have references, we have a data sets, okay, and then we also have some videos available that is related, and that, okay, these are the materials that's very targeted, that's very relevant to what we so call the social network analysis. Yeah. Okay, so I hope that I give you a very good overview, okay, regarding all this. Up to this point, okay, any particular questions that you may have?
We have a question from
Yeah.
Kun Pai Raj. It says, very interesting platform. May I ask if our lecture can add contents into this platform as well?
Okay. Add the content into the platform. If you are talking about, okay, selecting out the content and then to do a collaboration, it is possible. But what we will suggest you to do is that you take the content out and put it inside your learning management system. That would be easier this way. Yeah. So there are two ways of doing it. Okay. Let me share my screen again. Okay, so for example, today, okay, I would like to insert, okay, a particular let me don't choose a book. For example, I would like to insert, okay, my video. So I'm going to uncheck everything and just focusing on the video. Okay, so we'll let it pull out all the video. So for example, I'm interested in this particular video and I would like to insert this particular video into, okay, my learning management system. Now, depends on how you set up your learning management system. If today you are just having using a learning management system, be it the Blackboard, Moodle, right, Canvas or whatever, there is an iframe code that you'll be able to generate for you, right? You can select a particular even the entire video or maybe just a particular topic within the video, and you'll be able to generate the video iframe code and that allows you to effectively and easily embed into your learning management system. However, if today you are just having a reading list, for example, and you would like to insert a particular reading materials into your reading list for the convenience of your user, then that's the place where you actually see the link here. And the link will allow you, this is a permanent link, it's equivalent like the DOI that you are having. So you can actually use this DOI, either this one, or you can use this link. They will lead to the same place. All right. So this is sequence number 2 because I'm using section number 2. All right. So you can actually see this, and then you can generate the link and insert into your video. Yeah. Now, there's one thing that's very important. That is what we so-called the reading list. So for example, today, right, I would like to, I want to use this particular video for my methodology use. So what I can do now is that I can add this into my reading list, to an existing reading list, or maybe I can create a new reading list, by the name of, let's say, project, A, just, project A, So for example, just a project A, and I can make it public or private, and what I can do is I just click create. So very simple, it will create and add this particular video into my reading list called project A. So when I go back to my profile and start looking into my reading list, you'll be able to see that project A has been added somewhere, here, and that's the video that I've just added. So by having added this project video, what I can do now is that it is very easy for me to share with my collaborators or my peers. All right, so I can just share across. For example, me and Shirley, or me and Kunton, was actually working on the project. So I can easily just share across, so that we can kind of like sharing a common project that we have been working on. So I found very important, I would say, material that I read, and I would like to Kunton to actually read it as well. And that's how I can easily do it. And I can keep adding a lot of material in this different project. Yeah.
Okay, can I just, so I think the question is also about, if I'm a lecturer, I prepare my own materials, or I have open educational resources, could I add into this? So I think in the next presentation on Sage Campus, you will find, because Sage Campus complements Sage Research Methods, you are able to get any of your own personal videos, any of your OERs, any of your videos outside that you find, and incorporate it into the learning of the concepts in there. So in answer to the question about submission of research content, yes, you can. And so I think Shirley, if you could send, or Sue, you could send, there is a criteria for you to submit your case studies or your methods project. And like any other journals, it will have to go through a peer review process. It will have to see the relevance to it. And then only when it is found to be acceptable, then it will be published into Sage Research Methods. Yeah. So currently, the authors of the Sage Research Methods are what we call brand names, people whom we know, people who are well respected in the industry that can have that. So, but it doesn't prevent from anybody else who wants to try to submit it, they can. But bear in mind, it will have to go to a very strict peer review process, and we cannot guarantee that it will be published. Yeah.
Yeah. And I noticed that there's a question from Pairaj who mentioned about, now they have been specialized in econometrics, right? And
yeah, that's the one I was talking about. Yeah.
Correct. And then I just want to do this demonstration as well, because it's very important. We do have a lot of material. Are you guys
Young, you're getting softer and softer again.
Okay. So I'll just take over for a while, Rosalia. For this particular, you can see that, we do have econometrics, a lot of materials that's related to econometrics. And in fact, it is actually one of the research methods that's being covered in econometrics. So you can see that there's a lot of relevant materials available in econometrics. And if today you like to use this, for your teaching, that is related to econometrics, basically you are spot on, right? It has a lot of materials, be it the books, video, or maybe like encyclopedia, handbook, or whatever. That's all available inside. Yeah, thanks.
And also it's important to remember, so this is when you have your reading list, it's almost like a personal folder, right? Only you can, if you make it private, only you can see it. Obviously,
Correct.
you can use any of the citation tools or sharing that you can have for Sage Research Methods, especially when you're doing your thesis or your paper itself. So you can actually use Harvard or any one of those to be able to look at in terms of exporting of the citation of the tools here, or EndNote. Okay, so is there any other question, because we are now 11:14? Ji-Hyang look very crumpled your face.
Well, because I'm reading one of the question. There's one question saying that comprehensively support research of these Sage surveys, and currently researchers would have a lot of tools to support their research and teaching. How to aggregate this system to other tools or have their exclusive use and Sage service? Okay, so if let's say you are talking about other tools, I do not know what other tools. Maybe you can clarify. Let's say if you are looking at the LTI, okay, learning tool interoperability, okay, together with your existing learning management system, yes, okay, it is compatible. So meaning to say, if currently you have been using you know, a learning management system, and you want to make Sage Research Methods all the resources available within the learning management system for the easy planning of your, you know, as a professor, to easy planning of all the materials, be it the video or be it the cases or data set to be inserted into your course plan. Yeah, the LTI, I would say tools is available. I hope that answer your questions. Yeah, if it doesn't, just clarify the question so that we can address accordingly. All right, thank you.
So the other one I'm answering is MOOC-like courses. Actually, the answer to any MOOC or Coursera or edX or LinkedIn Learning is actually Sage Campus, which is as a different product. But the thing is that they all talk to each other. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, there's no question. I think we can continue with Campus, Rosalia.